Deep in the treacherous Sonora Desert, where temperatures soar to deadly highs and survival itself is a daily battle, America's most critical military supply route has become a hunting ground for Mexico's most ruthless cartel. The Sonora Cartel, led by the infamous Vicente El Coyote Ramirez, has orchestrated what they believe to be their boldest operation yet, hijacking a heavily guarded U.S. military convoy carrying advanced medical technology and next-generation tactical equipment. They're worth over $300 million. But El Coyote's perfect plan is about to collide with a force he never anticipated. Commander Jack Morrison and his elite Navy SEAL team have been watching, waiting, using this very convoy as bait in a trap months in the making. For 3 months, military shipments have been disappearing, each theft more precise than the last, each operation seeming impossibly well-informed. Tonight, in the unforgiving Mexican desert, 6 of America's most lethal operators will reveal why some lines should never be crossed. What unfolds over the next 72 hours isn't just a mission, it's a reckoning. As El Coyote's men celebrate their successful heist, they have no idea they're being hunted by ghosts, men who can turn the desert itself into a weapon, warriors who've mastered the art of becoming invisible in plain sight. This is the story of how the world's most sophisticated cartel learned the hard way that some forces you don't challenge, some units you don't provoke, and some weapons you don't steal. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow I've saved something extra special for you. Vicente El Coyote Ramirez stood atop the ridge, desert, wind whipping his expensive tactical jacket as he watched the convoy through high-powered binoculars. 3 armored trucks, standard military escort, moving exactly as his intelligence had indicated. His radio crackled with updates from his spotters positioned along the route. 4 personnel in lead vehicle, 3 in each follow, the spotter reported in Spanish. Moving at predicted speed, no air support detected. El Coyote smiled. Perfect, just like the others. Begin the operation. 15 kilometers away, Commander Jack Morrison watched the same convoy through his own optics. His 6-man SEAL team hidden in prepared positions across the harsh terrain. They'd spent weeks setting this up, letting the cartel think their intelligence was perfect, their plan foolproof. Ghost status, Morrison whispered into his comm. 3 technical vehicles moving into ambush positions, Chief Wilson replied from his sniper perch. Heavy weapons mounted. Looks like about 20 tangos, well equipped. Doc, you seeing their medical team? Affirmative, Rodriguez responded. 2 vehicles holding back. They're expecting casualties. Morrison allowed himself a grim smile. The cartel had learned from their previous heists, adapted their tactics, but they'd also grown confident, predictable. Tech, are we broadcasting the convoy's false signal? Signal is strong, sir, Parker confirmed. They're seeing exactly what we want them to see. Lieutenant Torres's voice came through next. Her position in the mobile command center, giving her a broader view of the operation. Satellite confirms additional cartel forces holding at waypoint Charlie. They're following the exact protocol we predicted. Tank, your team in position? Ready to block their escape route on your mark, Thompson answered. They won't know what hit them. The convoy continued its steady progress through the desert, maintaining its carefully planned speed. To the cartel observers, it looked like another routine military transport, slightly undermanned due to recent budget cuts. The perfect target. El Coyote gave the order. Commence the attack. His forces moved with practiced precision, vehicles emerging from hidden positions to surround the convoy. The lead technical opened fire, its heavy machine gun sending precise bursts into the lead vehicle's engine block. The convoy responded exactly as expected. the drivers attempting standard evasive maneuvers that played right into the cartel's prepared kill zones. "They're executing perfectly," Torres observed. "Every move matching the previous heists." Morrison watched as the cartel forces smoothly disabled the convoy, their tactics showing clear military training. "Time to shake their confidence. Ghost, take the shot." A single round from Wilson's suppressed rifle struck the lead technical's gunner, the impact barely audible over the desert wind. Before the cartel forces could react, 2 more precision shots eliminated key personnel, creating strategic chaos in their formation. "What's happening?" El Coyote demanded as his carefully orchestrated operation began to unravel. "Where are those shots coming from?" His radio erupted with confused reports, each shooter invisible, each shot seemingly coming from a different direction. Years of experience told him something was wrong. This wasn't random resistance. This was a coordinated counterattack. "Tank, cut off their retreat," Morrison ordered. "Tech, jam their comms. Time to show them what they're really dealing with." Thompson's team detonated prepared charges, sending carefully placed boulders crashing onto the escape route. Parker's electronic warfare suite killed the cartel's communication network, leaving their forces fragmented and confused. What had seemed like a perfect ambush was rapidly becoming a trap, not for the convoy, but for the attackers themselves. "Sir," Torres reported urgently, "we've got movement at Waypoint Charlie. Their reserve force is mobilizing." "Right on schedule," Morrison replied. "Let's give El Coyote something to think about. Execute Phase 2. The SEAL team moved like shadows through the desert terrain, their attacks precise and coordinated. Each strike targeted key personnel and equipment, systematically dismantling the cartel's operational structure while leaving their forces largely intact. This wasn't about body count. It was about sending a message. El Coyote watched in growing horror as his perfect operation fell apart. These weren't normal military forces. The precision, the coordination, the psychological impact of each attack. He'd seen this before, in reports he'd dismissed as exaggeration. "Navy SEALs," he whispered, realization hitting him like a physical blow. "Abort the operation, get our forces out." But retreat was no longer an option. His men found themselves caught in a perfectly executed trap, their every attempt at regrouping met with precise, devastating response. The convoy itself, he now realized, had been bait, its cargo carefully selected to draw out his entire operation. "Sir," Torres updated Morrison, "cartel forces are falling back to secondary positions. Intel suggests they're going to attempt a scorched earth withdrawal." Morrison nodded. Everything was proceeding according to plan. "Maintain pressure, but let some of them escape. We want them to report what happened here." The desert wind carried the sounds of combat across the harsh landscape as America's most elite warriors systematically dismantled what had been Mexico's most successful military heist operation. But this was just the beginning, the first phase of a mission that would unravel a conspiracy reaching far beyond a simple convoy robbery. El Coyote clutched his satellite phone, fingers trembling slightly as he dialed a number he'd hoped never to use. "We have a problem," he spoke in English. "They knew we were coming. Someone betrayed us." The voice that responded was calm, educated, American. "Impossible. The intelligence was perfect. Unless..." There was a long pause. "Get your men out. Destroy everything. We'll need to accelerate the timetable." As the sun began to set over the Sonora Desert, turning the sky blood red, Commander Morrison watched the remaining cartel forces retreat into the gathering darkness. Phase 1 was complete, but the real mission was just beginning. Somewhere in the shadows, a traitor had just revealed their existence, and the hunt was about to begin. The desert night settled over the aftermath of combat. creating long shadows across the scattered wreckage of El Coyote's failed operation. Commander Morrison's team moved methodically through the abandoned cartel vehicles, their night vision equipment revealing details invisible to the naked eye. The air still carried the acrid smell of gunpowder and burning metal,